Hey, you're here with Emily Ross, LPC, and this month we're talking about the 10 tips for managing holiday stress and toxic situations. Today we're on number 6. We're going to be talking about bringing a buffer and why that helps.
Action.
Hey, I'm Emily Ross, LPC, and I've got my trusty sidekick here. You want to introduce yourself?
No.
This is my trusty sidekick, Matthew, who's really happy to be with us today, as you can tell.
Also known as her husband.
Yeah, also known as, that's my husband, Matthew. Look, I got him on this side of the camera. So today we're talking about, what are we talking about today?
Bringing a buffer.
Bringing a buffer to manage holiday stress. We've been talking about 10 tips to manage holiday stress and toxic situations. Number 1 was boundaries. 2, deep breathing. What was number 3?
Number 3, I'll have to look at the cheat sheet.
So you're not.
I can't read your writing. We'll have to start over.
No, that's okay. Can't read my writing. Number 3 is focus on the positive. Yeah. Matthew, focus on the positive. 4 is having an exit plan. 5 is my favorite. What's 5, Maddie? You know that.
Well, self-care, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's having an exit plan.
That's your favorite? Yeah. Okay, well, mine's self-care. Today we're talking about bringing a buffer and why that's important. So I brought my buffer. My buffer. So there's a lot of reasons why bringing a buffer to a holiday party would be helpful, and I feel like they're pretty straightforward, right? It makes you more comfortable to have somebody there that you know and trust, and you know is going to be a positive influence, right? So recently I kind of came out on Facebook as having earned a year of sobriety. And so if you do the math on that, it was last year around Thanksgiving time where I decided to stop drinking. And so that first round of holiday parties, Thanksgiving, and then all the holiday stuff that happens in the Christmas season in December was hard for me. There was people expected me to drink because I always had, and I didn't really want to share with everybody or anybody that I was trying to not drink, and because I was afraid I wasn't going to be successful at that, right? So I didn't want everybody to know. But so that's when I really leaned into, I call it bringing a chaperone because I'm sassy, but like I wanted to go, I didn't want to be unchaperoned. I wanted somebody there who I knew appreciated the fact that I was trying to be sober and could help me do that. So how did you help me do that?
Well, it's because I have experience doing that.
Well, tell me about that.
I've been sober for 12 years, almost 13. It's the holidays is a stressful time anyways. Going shopping for me really is ridiculous because I can't stand being around groups of people. And
it's pretty introverted.
And it gets just a little chaotic for me. So that's a little stress factor right there. But when it comes to having a wingman and going places, it is important that they know what you're up against and what you're trying to do. I mean, sometimes it's difficult to go like to a function that has an open bar, and it's certainly difficult when you're by yourself. But when you have someone there that understands what you're doing, what you're trying to do, or who may be going through the same thing to where both of you can lean on each other, being united is really a good security blanket to have. and an exit plan. But it does give you someone to talk to also, someone that just understands.
Humans don't like to feel alone. I think that's probably one of the most shared universal experiences. We don't want to feel all alone. And if I'm the only one in a situation not drinking, I feel very alone.
Well, back to alcoholism, probably many of us begin drinking that way because we feel alone or different or whatever. We're just drinking to feel different.
Connected.
Yeah, and bring us out of our shell or whatever. I mean, that's my case. I'm really tall, and when I was young, I used to be really skinny, so I was awkward, and I felt awkward, and I looked awkward. And I mean, I was taller than my teachers in 8th grade. So shortly after that, it was, alcohol helped me to feel like I was fitting in. I mean, I've come to find out it was a really big lie, but it made me feel different. So one of the reasons why I drank, because I was shy and awkward and this, that, and the other. Alcoholism is centered. Hello, kitty. You've probably been drinking. So yes, alcohol is centered in the brain. I think it was in 1956 that the American Medical Association listed alcoholism as a disease. 1956 or 55 or something. So I think in 2011, another organization on addiction said it was a chronic brain issue that centered in the mind. And I believe all that stuff. So there's such a relationship between alcoholism and mental health. Alcoholism certainly affects your mental health. I mean, with my alcoholism came debilitating depression and the inability to respond well to what happens in life. So it was, in my past, it was so easy to go, even though not wanting to drink, go to functions during the holidays or whatever, and just say, and be talked into it. Or just to say, you know what, I can just drink tonight and tomorrow will be different. So me being a introvert, didn't go to functions like that very much, period. And I certainly never brought anybody. But I understand the importance of it over the past decade of sobriety to try not to put yourself in positions to be where you may be harmed or harm yourself in a way.
And harm can be as simple as betraying a goal you have, right? My goal last year was to remain sober. And so if I hadn't, then I would have betrayed that goal. And it can be as complicated as drinking too much and having an accident on the way home. So it protects you in that sense. Mm-hmm. And it does all the obvious things, right? Bringing a buffer, it provides comfort because you're not alone. It's a conversation partner. If you feel uncomfortable being in a room and not being the only person not talking to somebody or not paired up, it's like a guaranteed buddy for that, and it eases the awkwardness. It does a lot of the things of what Matthew's saying that alcohol had done for him, right? Like it eases the awkwardness in situations where you don't feel confident or comfortable. So try it. And we're not saying don't drink if you drink. We're not saying any of those things. What we're saying is try this. Bring a wingman and see if it doesn't feel better. They can help with your exit plan, right? Because you have somebody else with you. So it all helps with the other things that we're talking about. You would help me keep my boundaries. I didn't want to drink when I came here. You would remind me that, hey, do that deep breathing trick that works for you. You would help me focus on the positive, and we would be each other's exit plan.
Yeah, and I think it's something I said earlier is going, putting yourself in uncomfortable positions where you think you may be uncomfortable or something's going to be difficult to navigate through an evening or whatever. It is safe to have someone with you that knows what you're going through and say, I might be in I don't know how tonight's going to go. Do you mind coming with me? Help me get out of it, or, in a graceful way, or, just help me navigate through the evening, because we do want to keep ourselves safe and comfortable, and the others around us too. But it's got to start with us. Yes.
And so if you're an extrovert, Matthew's super introverted, and so social situations are uncomfortable. For me, I am a flaming extrovert. I love connecting with people. And so for me, going someplace and being different, not drinking when everybody's drinking, for example, or not knowing somebody when everybody knows somebody, or not being part of a particular clique when everybody else seems to be. Those are the things that make me feel uncomfortable. I don't mind being in a room full of people as long as I know one other person there. So the things we're trying to ease might be different based on personality and experiences and kind of tendencies and those sort of things. But bringing a buffer, I feel like, is a universal way to ease those, no matter where they stem from. So, questions, comments, anything you want us to expand on, you do it.
Do what?
Like and subscribe. Do the thing. You were just doing
it. That's too much like dancing for me.
You just did it. Like, subscribe. Don't forget to pop over to the Facebook page and join the conversations over there. We're focusing a lot on mindfulness on that side. But if you want to hear more about how to not drink, especially during the holidays, ask us. We would be happy to expand on that. Again, we're on number 6. We have boundaries, deep breathing. What's the next one?
Focus on the positive. Mm-hmm. Self-care is number, wait,
5.
I can't forget exit plan.
His favorite exit.
I was just going to take that for my own, but I guess everybody else
4
can use it too. 4 is an
exit plan. 5 is self-care. Vote in the comments if you want to see Matthew do a facial. Say yes. I didn't say it.
I dare you. And
tell Matthew that you want to see us do reaction videos. He wants... Vote if you want him to do reaction videos. I think he would be very entertaining. He's obviously very knowledgeable.
Entertaining? I'm sitting here like a bump on a log, babe.
But you're handsome to look at. You have like really good insights into things. You're so calm, and I'm over here all wound up like a chihuahua.
Yeah, that's true. Some of that stuff is true. Mental difficulties.
Tune in next time for number 7 in our 10 strategies for managing toxic stress during the holidays. And yeah. Like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. We're done.